points: Kogi, Kwara, Kebbi. We saw what actually happened. Also, Nasarawa. And then 41 unity schools were shut down because of that. Now, because of that particular scenario, there were accusations as to why there was no solidarity with Nigerians when Trump said he was going to come in here guns a-blazing. Oh yes, that was basically what they said, that that some Nigerians were happy that Trump said he was going to come in guns a-blazing when we're supposed to be unified in ensuring that we don't have any foreigner invade our space. Now I want to ask you this question. Do you think that the Nigerian government did not understand the unique, peculiar nature of the terrorist-related activities in this country, that it took Trump's order for some source of strategic thinking, or will I say consciousness, deliberate consciousness, to wake up to its responsibility of securing the lives of Nigerians? Or they knew all along, but maybe there was fear in some quarters, or they just simply did not think they should do anything about it, all because of politics? I want to know what you think about that.
Thank you so very much for having me. And at this point in time, the Nigerian people are quite in a state of confusion. Perhaps, the issue of insecurity has lingered for a long time, and people have been, calling on the government to do something about it. The sense of urgency, that the Nigerian people would like to have is not there. Up until recently, when, of course, Donald Trump, actually, came into the picture, and, the Nigerian government began to run kitty kitty kata kata, like they would say it in the street language. But it's a cause for concern, because, I don't think it should take an external influence, indeed, for the Nigerian government to act to protect, their people, because one of the fundamental role, one of the most important social contract between people and government is that you protect them. Protection of life and property is one of the fundamental things. But it seems as though the Nigerian government needs external stimulation before they can do something, and that should not be the case. This is something that is normal, that the Nigerian government should be committed to doing, not relying on someone outside the country or some president to get done. But we have always made it very clear to our people that the Nigerian people should not indeed rely on, whatever the government is selling to them. They should actually hold the feet of the government to the fire to do what they have been voted into office to do. That is to protect lives and property. All of these old things happening, the killings here and there, shouldn't have happened if the government were proactive and not, are back, taking, just like they are relaxed, that nothing. The docility in Nigeria is quite a thing, such that the government is not pressured. They don't feel it. It's like the number of lives that are being lost doesn't get to them. So, and it will take a lot of resistance. And from our side of things, we have always told our people, you have to resist. You have to speak up. You have to make your grievances known, so that, at least you create that noise around your struggle, such that it becomes relevant and the government.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Nigerians rely so much on this supposed political elites? The reason why I'm asking this question is that most of the time when I have conversations here and you're asking about preferred political candidates to represent them in the upcoming general elections, a couple of Nigerians give their preferred candidates. It's almost like they're waiting for that person for something to be done. And a couple of people think that why do Nigerians need to wait for these individuals for anything to be done when they can on their own clamor for these things? But we've seen an impediment in that regard. I'm sure you saw the fearless protest, the End Bad Governance protest. You saw how some Nigerians were taken to correctional facilities, children as young as you can tell, very young. A couple of them too were supposedly held in several custodial centers because there were talks that they wanted to derail and disorganize or cause chaos in the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So there is always a clamp down on any form of gathering or convergence to demand for good governance, to ask the government to prioritize their interests. It seems to be a system with this administration and even the previous administration. It's a crime for you to come together. And because of that, a couple of people think that these politicians or these political elites have deliberately mentally decapitated the psychological and emotional consciousness and will of Nigerians to be proactive in asking for what they consider to be their rights. Do you think that's what it is?
Absolutely. I cannot say it more efficiently and more eloquently than just to agree with you that it seems as though the Nigerian people, they don't. It's like they are relying on this, hero that is coming to come and save them, and that should not be the case. We have always, in our engagement with the Nigerian people, tell them you are your own salvation. Liberate yourself. Do not wait for this current system of things, this current political hegemony to come and do something that is extraordinary from what they have been known to do. Because do not expect so much from the Nigerian government, basically, because we know how they get to power, and we know that they are so confident of their their spending power. They are so confident of the homework that they have done on the people, that to keep the people docile, and that docility is what they are banking on, and it will take a conscious people to actually, get, what the dividends of democracy is essentially. All right, because if you are in a situation whereby you are just docile, you are expecting the government to do stuff, and you still expect them to do it, and they're not doing it. The best thing that you can do is to actually go all out, to actually ask for your right and stand your ground, basically, because all of these protests that you have just mentioned, I participated in it actively. I was at Ojota during the headmat governance protest. We have organized and engaged the Nigerian people, but the turnout has not been encouraging. We can see that Nigerian people are so demoralized. The system has demoralized our people so well that they have lost their power. People do no longer believe that their voice can be heard, and that is why voices of truth, voices of conscience is needed at this point in time. They are needed so well that to actually give the people the morale, the courage to actually stand up for themselves.
What is Civic Space about?
Civic Space is an educational platform where we engage with the Nigerian people. We sensitize them on what they need to do to get good governance. We have recognized the fact that Nigerian space, as it is right now, would need something quite extraordinary, and it will take a critical mass to get things done. Critical mass in the sense that a kind of society that can actually hold governments accountable, because we have a ruling class that doesn't care about the people really. So the people must, at this point, weaponize their numbers at this point to actually bring about the kind of government that they want, a government that can serve them.
All
really.
right. In that regard, let me bring to you something that has been very obvious for the past couple of years. If you recall, during the End Bad Governance protests in some quarters, in some regions in Nigeria, they were calling for a foreign invasion. Some persons were calling for Russia to come in. They were actually asking for a military rule. They no longer were comfortable with the democratic dispensation we're operating. And it was a dangerous, risky signal to tell you the apathy of the people towards the government. And when I mean towards the government, not necessarily the institutions that we have, but the persons manning these institutions. So let's bring it back to countries that borders Nigeria. If you look at about 7 countries thereabout, aside Madagascar, a couple of them are quite close to a terrain. The very closest is actually the one that almost took place in Benin Republic on Saturday/Sunday morning. Now, if we look at countries like Sudan, Burundi, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Comoros, Guinea-Bissau, Benin, which almost took place. In fact, that's not the first time they had attempted 8 times. They did attempt 8 times. They were successful 6 times. It comes and goes. But the thing is, these are countries that are part of the economic communities of West African states. And all of a sudden, we saw a breakaway fraction of Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, I think Guinea-Bissau, I think at some point, and Madagascar, but no, we're not close to that. And Benin Republic almost also took over. And you could tell that we saw on social media, I don't know if it is AI generated, but we saw some credible videos where the people of this country were happy that there was a military dispensation in charge. They were chanting, they were celebrating. What do you think has caused the apathy of the people being controlled in a democratic setting and a closer relationship or love with a military institution being in charge of government with these nations that bothers us?
The fact that the people are excited that this sort of intervention, is happening, speaks volumes to the fact that they are aware, or it is a situation whereby they have conceded that maybe perhaps having, the fact that democracy has failed, the fact that those that they have elected into offices, they have failed them. In their mind, they believe that, well, maybe perhaps military intervention of some sort would be their saving grace. But we have always said, and with the history of military juntas all around the world, you would see that they have always come out to be authoritarian, and people have not been able to, be better for it. But we also are very much aware of some exception to the rule, like that of Burkina Faso. We all know Thomas Sankara as a military officer and what he had been able to do to his people, because essentially is about providing services to the people, good governance. There's this famous quote by Thomas Sankara that says, you would rather choose either wine for the few or drinkable water for everybody. Okay. So that is quite profound. And people are, even in Nigeria, a lot of people are clamoring for the fact that let military take over this and that. So, but the truth is that, do we really want that? Are we going to get the solution to the problem through military intervention when we can actually organize ourselves as a people and bring about a radical, revolutionary leadership that can address our issues? And I believe that can be done. And that is what we are trying to facilitate on Civic Space.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a showerist. You can hear that term, right? These are showers people. These are showers amplificators. Okay. Our YouTube is active now, so you can join us virtually. It's at VOP 903 FM on YouTube. Just go to your YouTube application and click on the search bar. If you're not subscribed yet, click on VOP 903 FM, and we're currently streaming live. Like I told you earlier, that the conversation today intends to be quite engaging and intellectually edifying. We're intending to provide or seek for logic into some of the anomalies and quagmires affecting or challenging Nigeria's structural or unstructural system of government. Mr. Tony Mbata, let me come in to you at this very moment. When the situation in Benin actually happened, according to the Nigerian government, they told us that there was an SOS, and immediately fighter jets were deployed to go restore calm in Benin Republic. And for years on, almost 10-13 years, the Nigerian territory has been usurped by ISWAP, Boko Haram. It transmutated to, we have Lakurawa, Mahmuda, and a couple of other terrorist groups. The last time that the US was having a parliament discussion with concerning the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, they mentioned that there are about 32 or more than 32 terrorist groups resident in Nigeria. It's almost like it's a fertile ground, is a habitation of terrorist related activities. It has become so bad that it almost seemed like we never had an active military. The recent one was the murder of the general at the battlefield, and it was a debilitating moment to actually experience that. If Nigeria could be that proactive in trying to ensure that Benin Republic did not descend to a military kind of government, why did we not see that precise, articulate, coherent, and targeted approach in handling security here?
Well, Esther, your question, I know that every Nigerian can answer this question. because they know what we are into. That I have said it time without number, that the insecurity in Nigeria, if the Nigerian government want to stop it, they will do that. They will do that. You can imagine SOS as Nigerian military went to Benin and restore immediately.
Somebody just sent me a message that he saw the fighter jet pass. Yes. He was wondering what was happening.
That's to tell you that we have all it takes to restore and to make sure that the sanctity of life is being upheld in this country. But because I have said it time with time number, the Nigerian government knows what is happening in insecurity or whatever. They know what is happening. Many of them are doing trade by barter, making money out of it. They can't deny it. Some of them, through the mineral resources, they want to push some people out so that with the, allegedly, the Russia, the Chinese, and some of these world powers, so that they can easily take away some of these things. Some of them for one political reason or the other. And they know. But I want to say something that my own man said initially. Not that Nigerian masses, they so depend on these people. They know that these people have failed them. But Esther, in 1960s, 70s leadership, when Pa Awolowo, Azikiwe, Tafawa Balewa, most of them at that particular time, Avani Kopu, Desambakwe, Rimi, most of them, you see that this, when we have leaders that their followers look at them and they will see embodiment of leadership and leaders that live by example, and they have their people in mind in order to make sure, like we know free education in the West, we know what other people did in their own particular time. But this time around, since 1999, 1999 election, we had it on authority that it was Olufale that won that election, but military changed whatever they did and brought in Obasanjo. Since then, the Nigerian leaders have not been the same as the old. And remember that that particular time, people will see a leader, you know that this is a leader. And when a leader says, sit down here, they will sit. This is where we are going, and this is where they will be going. But this time, since Obasanjo came into power, and all the rest of them, the shenanigans that Maurice Iwu did through INEC, and this one, all the leaders now are no longer leaders. What they are doing is business with life, whether you are alive or not. So Nigerian masses are confused. What we need is education, reorientation, in order to bring in the hope. That's why they know where they are going. They know who to vote. But do we have the right people to vote? Election these days is not won by ballot paper. It's won. That's why people are decamping. They're not decamping that people are following them or people are going to vote for them, because the present government are strategically putting people that will help them to rig election. Not that they will win election. That's why you see most of these governors to decamping. Not that they are decamping with the masses. So that when they rig this 2027 election, they will say, after all, this place is a governor. It's a governor. No. So the style of leadership have changed. And people are confused. To help us is to make sure that we educate people. Keep telling them. So Nigerian military, if they can restore, they have all it takes. They have all the capability and everything to make sure that Nigerians will sleep with their two eyes closed. But because of politics and misplacements of priorities from the leadership, we can't achieve it.
Civic space. I don't know if you understood that terrorism became a business. It's a hub where they don't pay tax. Very easy money. Somebody who could not even attain or doesn't have a job, who is not educated, who doesn't have a job, gets into kidnapping, gets about 600,000 naira in one particular outing with a victim. In some instances, they even get up to 2 million or 3 million.
Industry.
It's a very big enterprise, a big franchise. They don't care how the kind of trauma that victims are put through. Now, Sheikh Gumi came and he's still insisting. He's been invited on several media forums. Some Nigerians have said Sheikh Gumi should be taken in for questioning. He should be considered a terrorist because he seems to act like and speak for terrorists or terrorist-related activities, seems to be sympathizing with them. Sometimes he would say, don't kill them. They are brothers, or they are brothers in the forest. They are fighting for us. It's poverty that led them into what they're doing. He has advocated for them on several several occasions by bringing a non-kinetic approach that he calls it negotiating. Now, very recently, Sheikh Gumi said it's better that we or they abduct children. It's safer if they abduct children than for them to keep on killing our soldiers. He made reference to the abduction of the Kebbi schoolgirls, how most of them were released unharmed. But if they were military men, they would have killed them on the spot. It would have added to their glorification that they were exterminating Nigeria's military. And he also said that Nigeria cannot decimate insecurity in terms of terrorists alone, that they need to adopt the negotiating method. He considers that the best. How would you describe that scenario with this man walking up and down, being celebrated, being respected? He holds a certain kind of aura and seems to have some kind of immunity from the government.
Well, I have my personal reservation about Sheikh Gumi.
Okay.
And I feel he's quite insensitive to the traumatic situation of the kids, that he's basically saying that, well, yeah, it's better they kidnap the kid than to...
That's a lesser evil than killing the soldiers.
I think it's high time we begin to die down this lesser evil rhetoric. We believe evil is evil, no matter how, any form, in any way, shape or form, evil is evil. And those situations shouldn't have been happening in the first place. That children are vulnerable. Even as at today, when we were having our space, there was this listener that tuned in and picked up the mic and said, his child is basically at home as we speak right now, and this is in southwest Nigeria, not it's southwest or your state. They are afraid of their life. They are afraid for their children. So the fact that this trauma alone, it may live with those kids for the rest of their life. Anyone in charge of child psychology would make that argument, and that is as equally very dangerous and evil as any killing. So the fact that the capability of our soldiers, I am one of those who believes that we have the capacity to engage these bandits, these terrorists. Okay. We have the capacity, and if we do not, we believe we have our African brothers that we can actually consult. We belong in ECOWAS, we belong in AU. You
consult? Which of the ECOWAS? The ECOWAS has been redundant, that you have about some of their members already.
Your president actually used ECOWAS to actually go and save Benin Republic.
Are you sure it was ECOWAS?
Yes, it was.
It was just recently that ECOWAS was speaking. Our
president is the chairman of ECOWAS.
He's no longer the chairman of ECOWAS.
But he has influence.
Yes, he does have influence.
He still has the influence. In fact, apart from that, we can actually seek for, there was a time we actually seek for, what's it called, mercenaries at some point to engage, and we're gaining ground up until some certain interests actually weighed in and said, well, it is actually affecting them. And who are these certain interests? Who are the financiers of these people? Should we always, or should we have to keep rubbing their heads or pampering them? Or how would Sheikh Gumi tell us that now the best thing to do is to basically rub their ego and tell them to because this is becoming a big industry.
Yeah.
And as a country, as a government that is serious about protecting lives and property or the safety of your people, you have to be very, very serious in addressing issues like this. And we believe that the Nigerian government has not given this issue the kind of seriousness that it entails. That is why we have always said our people, it's time to actually organize ourselves for something revolutionary, something radical. And when you talk about something radical, it's not to say that we're going to go gun a blazing only, but we have the capacity to deal with this issue even at the very foundation of it, because there's a particular pool of where these bandits are being recruited.
Yeah.
We have over, at least I think the last time I checked, millions of our children are walking the streets, and these are the people that are being recruited to become bandits or terrorists or any of these things. So what about dealing with the root cause of the issue? And I think the government is not doing enough in that regard, because if you have to treat a problem, you have to look at it from the very root and deal with it from that root.
I'm sure you know that recently the Southwestern governors met in having to discuss about insecurity, and also the Northern governors met as well. They proposed 56 or 59 billion naira to tackle insecurity. We don't know
what
how
happened
much.
to the security votes that they have been collecting all this
That was
while?
basically what
have
that
been
they came and
collecting
concluded
billions.
on after they recently met together.
They will have to account to the billions that they have taken so far so good before we can actually sanction this one as legitimate, because it's all about money. Why does it always have to be about money for these politicians? How about doing the real work and not just talking about money? Okay, all of the money that have been budgeted for this, for security votes, to actually facilitate security in your state, you are the chief security officer of your state, and under you, all of these things are still happening. It means something is wrong somewhere. The money that you have been collecting has not been put to the right use. Something is happening. We cannot come to conclusion explicitly, but we can also see that something is wrong somewhere, because if money is going into something and that thing is not being addressed, the problem still persists. It shows that something is wrong somewhere. So as a people, we don't want to bother ourselves too much to pay attention to all of these dramatic politicians of asking money. These are kleptomaniacs in my own view, and we have to find a way to get rid of them one way or the other.
We're going to discuss how that is going to happen, but there is an institutional rooted financial corrupt practice in the system. It's so bad, to be honest with you, that those who are there don't care about anyone. They don't even care spilling blood in the process. It's become so bad. So we need to look at how we can remove money from politics and see if indeed people are truly ready to serve. But in 2023, I don't know about you. I've been in this job for almost 20 something years right now. I think 22 years thereabout. And I've followed elections. I was actively involved in the 2015 elections, 2019 elections. Yes, precisely in 2023 general elections. I was at the very premise of my job at the time. And to be honest with you, in 2015, I did not really observe that, energy in how elections were done because of the characters that were put out there, okay? 2023, there was a turnaround. There was something that shifted the political sphere. A demography that was asleep decided to wake up. I think it started from the Ensa Sorosoke movement, where you had the young population become actively involved in politics. In fact, in calling out their political elites, and they all decided to get involved in politics. This was how the Peter Obi factor came on board. The Shower factor, although he contested in 2019, but in 2023, these individuals became very prominent, and people wanted to understand the involvement of the youth and how the youth could do something different other than from what Babarigas have been doing in time past. But that political consciousness also became a polarizing factor because of the same old Babariga politicians introducing a certain ingredient in the political space that has supposedly divided us, and which obviously has derailed political conversations that is educating and unifying. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from.
I do.
Now, we have certain persons in the political space who have indicated interest for 2027. Some Nigerians are not happy with the current government. Some of them feel that anybody other than this person in charge. Others feel that we should allow this person. It wasn't easy considering the administration of Buhari. He started from the ground and it's hard, it's not easy. Others consider this administration to be an administration of propaganda. We will do, we did, but no action. There's no testimonial. There's no physical manifestation of what they have done. It is afterwards that we will see something similar to, but there's no sustainability to it. And others are looking towards some certain elements in the polity, like Peter Obi, Showore, and very recently there's a talk that possibly El-Rufai or Dati Baba Ahmed, not as VP, but as presidential candidates. What would you say about this set of persons having to do something different than what the president is doing now?
Well, in my view, I believe the likes of the Peter Obi's, El-Rufai, you can also make argument
Atiku,
for Atiku, Dati Baba Ahmed, all of these guys. They are not new to us, and many Nigerians also have their reservations about these political players.
Yeah.
They have been around for quite a while. And every government will always And let me just start from the APC government.
Yeah.
After they emerged in 2015, Buhari also said the same thing, that what we met on ground from the PDP administration is such a mess. We have to do the job. And after 4 years, like let us consolidate on the gains that we have made in 4 years. And after the next 4 years, it's even worse. So, and if you look at the cost of commodity, and these are the indications, cost of commodity, food prices, petroleum price, because that also determines food prices. So if you look at all of these indications, you would not but come to the conclusion that these are not serious people. These guys just want to keep, in street language, they want to be boboing Nigeria people. They will come use sweet languages, they will come with all of the high promises, but they would perform very abysmally. And it's time for Nigerians not to pay attention any longer. I think there's no other time than now that Nigerians should be able to decode that all of these we call them established career politicians. These guys have been they have been doing politics almost all their lives. And at the end of the day, if you look at their trajectory, their history, what they have been able to do, even when they were given the opportunity to serve in a capacity, one capacity or the other, as former governor, former minister, former this, former that. If you look at their records, it's not quite sterling. So, and we want something sterling, something radical.
So what do you think will be sterling? Who do you think is radical? Who do you think can reposition? Who do you think can garner the love of the people, reposition the country without all of the political and ethnic ambiguities that is, very familiar with Nigeria as a complex and peculiar nation? Who do you think can navigate that?
Nigerian people have to make as I said, Nigerian people have to make a choice. To either stay and stick their, make a decision to stick with the old guys, the career politicians, or choose something new. And if you look at something new, it's Showore we're talking about here.
Why do you think so?
The reason why I think so is that Showore is presenting quite something new, an alternative to the regular solution to the problem. If you have to look at the track record of all of these other guys, they are chronic capitalists. In their individual endeavors, you could determine that. In their leadership style, you could see that. But Showore is presenting something along the socialist side of things. It's presenting something that is quite organic, something that has to do with, as I said, Nigerians have to make a choice at this point in time to either stick with the regulars or do something, or pitch their tent.
But you do know that there's a sense of speculation about Showore.
Okay.
There's a talk. I've spoken with him here. I've had an interview with him here. Some people still believe that Showore is working for the government. The perception is that he's working for this government or for the APC, regardless of the brazen oppository statements that he makes. Some people also think that with the kind of words he uses to describe some of this political bigwigs and nothing happens to him, that he is deliberately planted to act and say that so it doesn't seem as if every other person is kowtowing to the government, and that is why nothing has happened to him. If any other person had been as brazen as he is, for example, the terms he has called the president on several occasions, how he has referred to the inspector general of police, he has been bold about it, he's never been afraid to say and describe them in certain ways. He has also been able to call the system what it is, says it's corrupt, decrepit. He's been very bold and brazen, all of that. I have never seen any other opposition being that bold to give all of this nuances or describe all of this to this political elite, but he has constantly done that. And some people feel that possibly because of his ethnicity, or maybe he has an affiliation with the government of the day, and that's why he's immune to it. So how does he break away from that perception? How do you denounce that perception, especially for those who still think in that way?
Many Nigerians are actually embracing Showore. We can see this new spike of support for his activities, what he's been doing. They see him as a real person. Showore is a freeborn. Okay. And he has proved to be a freeborn. He is just someone who would express himself and say it the way it is.
It is.
And talking about logic, if you have to subject all of these reviews or the opinions of people on Showore to logic, it doesn't really add up. Because if you are to be working for a government, you would not be subject to arrest and imprisonment. You will not have injuries to show for it. They have broken his nose. He has so many injuries on his body. His
brother was killed too.
So many. Even his mother is currently bedridden because of the traumatic news that his son has been arrested in the court, within the premises of the court. That was so many things are happening that people are beginning to see the realness, the genuineness. Also, all of this, statement from people that are saying that it's working for government, it's beginning to become sour,
like stale.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense any longer. It's the propaganda that has expired long ago.
All right. We'll take a very short break, ladies and gentlemen. You're still listening to the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. With me right here in the studio is Civic Space. I decided to call him Civic Space.
Yeah.
And I also have Mr. Tunimbata right here with me in the studio. After this break, the conversation continues. They kind of stay with us.
Customer, welcome. What do you want buy?
I want buy changeover. Cutout fuse and distribution board made of 100% heavy duty copper.
Oh, come, I get am. See, I'm here.
No, now I'm looking for Slatter Star J cutout fuse and distribution board, Nipo cutout fuse, Star J solar battery, inverter, MPPT controller, and solar panel.
But Oga,
don't worry. I know where to get them. Whether na Star J changeover cutout fuse, Slatter distribution board, Nipo cutout fuse, Star J solar battery, inverter, MPPT controller, and solar panel, Star J ceiling fan, sockets, all earthen materials. Make you no go do cover wise pan foolish o. Slatter Star J Indian product na #1 since 1961. Made of 100% heavy duty solid copper with no compromise. Available in all leading electrical shops nationwide. Slatter Star J na you biko.
Welcome back. This is still the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Mr. Tony Mbata, let me come to you right at this very moment. We're going to the political space. Basically that's what it is. When Nigerians begin to speak on governance and the importance of governance, it tells you that governance has failed. You know very well, very recently, that 9 women died through gunshots through the Nigerian army, and they haven't said anything. They haven't spoken. They denounced. The first thing they tried to do was to deny that what was reported happened did not happen. 7 women were gunned down in a chilling incident involving troops said to be escorting a brigade commander, Amici Agu, of the 23 Brigade Nigerian Army, Yola. The soldiers allegedly fired live rounds at the demonstrators in Lamode. What happened to maybe gas canisters, something? What happened to rubber bullets? I don't understand if you understand what I'm trying to say. Or possibly a scare tactic to let them disperse. Why live rounds? So far, 9 women dead. So again, it brings us back to this. You cannot protest. You're being killed in your community. You come out to protest. You're murdered by the institution that is meant to provide support, succor, counsel, and safety for you. I don't know if you get my drift. You're coming out to the very government that takes your tax to supposedly protect themselves. Your tax, they say, is to govern you and protect you, and unfortunately they in turn kill you. There is no remorse. There is no immediate introspection as to what led to what happened. Show a form of apology and see how that does not occur again. And this is not the first time we're hearing about this happening, from our security operatives to live protesters. So my question to you is this, Mr. Tony Mbata. There is no accountability to the people. The government acts like with impunity. Meanwhile, they need these people to vote them in power. Without those people, they wouldn't be there. Is it the people that gave these persons this kind of audacious attributes that when they get there, the people become stepping stones that they march on and do whatever it is they like after squeezing the lifeblood out of them? I want to understand why they don't think that they owe any form of accountability to the people that they govern.
Esther, that's to show you the rottenness of the institution in Nigeria. And that's to show you the weakness and the wickedness of the leadership of this country from 1999. if you look at the trajectory, there was a time Obasanjo went to Udi and massacred people there. Nothing happened. And this one thing, I've said this same time with that number, that when you are in power, you don't make a policy because you are there to protect you. Because when you live there, people that are coming on board will do the worst.
Is it only Udi? What about the one in Delta?
No, I'm just
what
using,
about Obibo?
No, I'm just mentioning one than trying to answer your question. Now, they have seen this, and I've said it before, because we don't have the right people in the leadership, anything can happen. Then when you have people that they don't respect the sanctity of life, they don't even respect the so-called constitution that they say we, the Nigerian people, because we know that Nigeria is built on deceit based on that constitution. So they don't even respect the constitution. And when you don't have the institutions that will fight for the fundamental right of people, what do you see? You will see all these things. It will happen and nothing will happen. Look at life of people that are just taken away. Nobody, even the so-called presidency or president that's supposed to speak for the people, that's supposed to protect the people, is not saying anything. So it dawned on us that it is not the fault of the Nigerian masses. It's the fault of the people that deceived us in believing that they are leaders. They are not. Even if it happened from there, and this thing started from the APC government, I keep saying it. Nobody, no rightful thinking person will support the APC government. And let me say something that is very germane, that I am an activist, that I am a labor union president. I've said it before, does not make me a good leader. It's high time we started checking from the universities. Most of these people that said they went to school, go and check who they are when they are there. Although most of Nigerian leaders, we know their certificates, some of them, most of them, 80% of them there, they don't even have certificate. They stole it. They did all manner of things. We know them. Even the university they claim to do. Starting from Buhari, at a time the certificate of Buhari was questioned, standard 6 or whatever. Now, when we start checking them, who is Tony Mbata? Tony Mbata attended social primary school. Check when he was in the secondary school, who is he? When he was in Imo State University, who is the person? You will know, even in the family. When you look at these people, even as a trader, you see when they are Alaba, who are they? These are the people that behave anyhow. So when they are in authority, I mean, when they are trading in Alaba or Ojota or whatever, who are they? We can trace these people and know who they are. So when you give them power, those people will not change. Leopard cannot change his skin. The issue is that because military believe, or some of these institutions believe that they cannot be held accountable. That's why INEC will come and tell you that we have a glitch. Nobody have questioned what is the meaning of glitch. What causes that glitch? The judiciary that gave us the meaning of hand and say 25% you must win it in Abuja cannot come and now give that verdict at the same time in 2023 election. They don't know the meaning of hand. They don't know that 25% was ruled, that Obasanjo, Buhari himself contested with it, and so Obasanjo did not win Abuja, and they say no, Obasanjo won 25% of Abuja. That's what makes him to be the president, and this present president could not even win 25%, and they say nothing. You see, when institution is rotten, you see all these things.
Mr. Tony Mbata, in the political space right now, conversations are ongoing about defection, about alliances and coalition. The banter has not, the temper in that particular regard hasn't reduced. Very recently, we know what is going on with the ADC and Peter Obi. The ADC feels that Peter Obi is supposed to have joined them by now, considering the fact that with the by-elections or whatever in their previous political parties are over, and so they want to start off in a decisive manner. The ADC claims that the party is open for everyone. They're not talking about zoning now, because the talk was they want the ADC to zone, being the fact that is the turn of the South. This turn of the South is unconstitutional anyways. It's just an agreement between certain persons, so it doesn't seem as if a particular region continues to be in the presidency over other regions. They want equal representation. Now, in that particular, there's a kind of face-off. Peter Obi's silence is loud. Omoyele Sowore has been speaking. His stance remains as it has always been. Atiku has not been talking, but he's been speaking through proxies. There are influencers already influencing for him, saying Atiku will run, although a couple of them are not saying what they would do different other than what this administration is doing right about now. So far, the person that most of these political parties are looking up to or supposedly talking about or showing keen interest in is Peter Obi, to know what political party he will run with. And the question is, why the curiosity about him specifically? Why don't you focus on yourself? Why don't you focus on whoever it is that you have any form of affiliation with? So because of that, the APC spokesperson for Lagos State, Sheye Oladejo, he is the APC spokesperson for Lagos, has come out to say that the 2027 election is not about confused coalitions or political experiments, referring to the coalition of the ADC as people who are confused and that they're an experimental phase that actually has no root. He went further to allege or state that in a statement made today, he says that Peter Obi is someone who stalks political parties that are vulnerable. He stalks like he's like a predator, waiting for issues to happen in some political parties, and then he now presents himself. He doesn't like competition. He doesn't want any place where he'll be challenged, that a ticket will be given to him, up front. Let me read out specifically how he described it. This is what he says. He says that at this critical juncture, it has become expedient to warn the opposition to stop distracting Bola Ahmed Tinubu with needless politicking and manufactured drama. He says there is no dispute about the enormous national challenges before the nation, and President Tinubu remains steadily, courageously and competently poised to overcome them for the collective betterment of Nigeria. The APC as a ruling party has no reason to jump the gun on electioneering. Our numerous achievements across infrastructure, economy, security, social investment, education, health, transportation and national reforms will speak loudly for us at the appropriate time. The opposition, on the other hand, has nothing to offer but recycled slogans, empty promises, deceptions that Nigerians can now see through with clarity and experience. So he says 2027 is not for confused politicians and politicking, and that it is for prepared leadership. That the ADC OB face-off is no longer an internal disagreement. It is now a public confession of collapse, opposition in full-blown confusion indeed. He noted that Obi does not want to compete, but position himself like a panther, stalking political parties in distress to strike when desperation peaks.
Esther, in the political space of Nigeria today, like it, believe it, dislike it, Obi is a factor. Both APC, ADC, or any other political party are interested in, and also afraid. Let me come in.
Afraid of why? Afraid?
Yes, because what happened in 2023? What happened election of 2023? Remember that in Lagos State, for instance, when PDP, President Obasanjo was in power, and other ones, that they have done everything humanly possible to take away Lagos State from Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The crutches of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they couldn't do it. They used all the federal might, they used seas of local government resources, they couldn't. But it took a man to come and change the whole game. Now, at the seat of power, where Buhari was, APC was, it took a man to come there, destroy everything. In Delta State, where the vice president of the PDP was a member, was a COA, it took a man, and other places, and we know what happened. So when APC is talking, or when some of these people are talking, you look at, APC is full of lies and deceit. They beat on it. We know what happened. So when they are lying, you will see them lying, and you see them shooting themselves on their foot. Because what they are saying, look at it.
You're saying that with what Sheye Oladejo just said, that the opposition is an experiment, a coalition of confusion, that it is lies?
Yes. Let me tell you. Let me finish with what I'm saying.
Okay.
APC started by lying. Both APC and PDP, they are the same. It's just brothers and sisters, the same parent.
Just different umbrellas.
Just different nomenclature, So when the lifestyle of even ADC now, because the problem we are having in this country is a problem of insincerity. When PDP started, they have this gentleman agreement. Power will go to the north, come to the west, and they agree. But they did not do the integrity by putting it black and white. So what they were doing is that any of these ones, anything, because my interest is not here, I can jump and say it was not written.
Atiku said the reason why he worked against Jonathan was because he refused to hang on to the agreement they had.
Which
you
know what brought
the second time.
You know what? That's the doom of Jonathan. Do you know why Jonathan came on board? The master. You know what happened. You know what happened. All of us know the story.
Yes.
Jonathan came. But when Obasanjo advised Jonathan, now you have finished Jonathan and we are giving you 4 years. Don't go again. It is a turn of the north. People deceived Jonathan. Jonathan wouldn't have supposed not have run for that election at that particular time because there was a gentleman agreement.
Don't you think that the same thing can apply
No,
in the ADC as well?
He cannot.
No
He
matter the
cannot.
sincerity
Why
that is
it will
being
not?
exuded
Why
by
it
the
will
persons in
not?
there.
What Atiku is scheming, Atiku cannot get it because this.
What is he scheming?
Atiku is scheming to come and tell us that because they say they are born to rule. So a set of people say they are born to rule. And if Atiku should come and hijack this power, they have made a mark. So it's high time Nigerians started believing that everybody
if Atiku should come and hijack the power.
If Atiku should win this presidency now, that means they have made a mark that the North will determine where anybody which they want to win.
The ADC is stating that they are not. It's an open call. For
what
everyone.
they are saying is
hold on. It's an open call for everyone. That everyone has an opportunity to be. A primary, either they will have a consensus or an open primary. Anyone who is interested, they do the primary, and any candidate that emerges, everybody supports. They want to do it the way they normally do primaries before. But the talk about this is the desperation of some certain elements. For example, Peter Obi was supposed to declare what political party he will run in November, but he hasn't. Anyway, there is still time. I mean, this is not the year. There's still 2026. And based on INEC schedule, a couple of the political parties have already erred, making announcements, already starting off with campaign monies and buses being reeled out is actually wrong. But hey, it's the president. You can't tell him what to do at this point in time. But the issue now is this. For the APC, they believe that Peter Obi doesn't like competition. He doesn't want to work for it. He wants to be given it. And they're saying that the dynamism or whatever it was that made him emerge as he did in 2023, those factors are no longer potent. They're done with. It's a different political dimension now, and he needs to enter the market. He needs to compete. It's not going to be something that will be given to him like what happened in 2023.
They are giving a wrong narrative.
Okay.
And that's why I'm telling you that ADC want to follow the same trajectory of leaving a space so that they can strike and put us in a state of fuga muga. In the sense
hold on.
Look at let me finish.
No,
so that I cannot.
I need to understand what you're saying. Said leave a space.
A space, yeah. That's what I want to explain. You see, when PDP started their own, they look at Nigerians. They say, okay, this is how we are going to do it, so that everybody in this country will be happy. So that every section, every regions will have a fair share of the national cake. But they leave something so that something will happen. They will put down their hand and say, this thing did not happen. After all, we did not agree. After it was a beer parlor or something. That is what APC and ADC want to do. And they want to, this is a time bomb for Obi. And I thank God that Obi is not the kind of person they think he is. He has learned his mistake. Now, yes, you said Obi doesn't want a primaries. Forget about it. You say it's an open something. No problem. Let it be an open. But let us pen down the things that we need to do so that if Atiku should win the primary and after maybe 4 years or 8 years of Atiku, it will go to the other side. I'm not disputing it. That is what Obi is saying. But for us not to make the mistake of PDP, APC is making. Look, let me tell you. If it's a prophecy market, APC before 2027 election, APC is going to have a problem. I will explain when you want. So Obi is saying, no problem. Let us have it written. Let us go to contest. Now, if I win the primaries, now peradventure become the president, who will be the vice? Who will be the speaker? Where is the president, senate president is coming? All these things. Let us share it. Not sharing it by mouth, so that we can pin it down.
But his apology is saying that they are not talking about zoning now. They want to know those who are in the party.
They are the same.
They can start galvanizing.
That's what they come
putting their structures.
See, Obi told them something which I so much cherish. He said, if it is for us to take power from Bola Ahmed Tinubu without thinking of Nigerians, how to put things, what are we going to do to alleviate the problems and sufferings of Nigerians? I told you on Sunday that this election is between hungry and angry Nigerians against the so-called leaders. So Obi is saying, let us do this in a proper way, not the same old way we are doing it. Come, let us come. That's what APC did, and that's why Nigerians are in the state of this problem we are now, because APC was called, let us remove Jonathan. All the propaganda, we know what happened at Ojota, we know what they did with the American president and how they remove Iyejirika. When Iyejirika, this is security, Iyejirika was curtailing it, and they brought all their propaganda. Even at a time they refused selling Nigeria, giving us arms by United States government. At a time they said the camp president, they use his the private jet to do those things. We know all the propaganda. Come without putting things in a proper perspective. And when you come, the more you look, the less you see. So that is what ADC want to do. And Obi said no. I remember that obedient group I have said it, whether you believe it or not, obedient group is more fortified than APC and other political parties. That is their fear.
Civic space. Somebody is asking a question. They say it's the time of the South. That is, southern candidates should be presented, no longer the normal way things used to be, or the radical way that hasn't had the interest of the people at heart. But now there's this gentleman agreement that is going to be applied across major political parties, and they're saying, okay, in order to beat Tinubu, when I mean beat him, to ensure that he doesn't come back in 2027, that the opposition needs to come together, put aside their differences, see how they can merge, have a manifesto that will be possibly better than whatever it is the APC has reeled out or they have out there, to ensure that he doesn't come back. So they're asking this question: how about Ishore and Peter Obi? Is there any universe or possibility of that taking place? Because Ishore wants to be a president, Peter Obi wants to be a president. Shore's ideology may be quite different than that of Peter Obi. They both have their mannerisms and disposition towards governance. But the question is, what if they come together? What if Shore decides to be part of this coalition thing, where there is no too many political opposition parties, but one that all of these strong, potent actors who are opposing this government come together to ensure the president doesn't come back in 2027?
Well, Shore has made it very, very clear that he cannot, light and darkness cannot work together.
Who is light and who is darkness?
We all know who the bad guys in this country are. We know them. They are bad guys. Do you know why? Because they have not been able to show workings, except just the drama, vibes, and inshallah.
Are you referring to this set of persons in the coalition right now?
Exactly. We know them. They are the established politicians. Nigerians still love drama. And at some point, we will have to snap out of that drama and face reality. The fact that we are still very much paying attention to all of by now we should retire all of these guys.
Okay.
And I believe at this point in time, with my observation, it seems as though some certain Nigerian persons, they cannot change, and they are so loyal. There's this cult followership going on, cult of personality. Some people till their last breath, they would keep following Atiku. Some people to their last breath, they would scream Peter Obi to their last breath. You cannot change them. That's why we are concentrating our efforts on some certain interesting demography. The Gen Zs, those that, they're even some Nigerians that have not been able to participate in the election. Even with current data, it's showing that there are more people that are not participating than people that are participating in the election. So we want to tap into that demography. And I noticed that
during the Anambra elections, the AAC did something that was actually quite breaking the circle. A very young, very, very young lady was your governorship candidate.
Yes.
I think the breaking of the chain of the usual has already commenced. But Well, aside from personalities, do you think Nigerians look at the principles of these personalities in terms of applying it to governance? If you ask some persons, what the person that they are showing allegiance to, do they understand the principles of the person? Do they understand the ideology of their person? They can't tell you. They can't define it. They'll just tell you, I like Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I just like him. Or possibly because he's from my tribe or he's from my person.
They are being strong every time.
But that's what I'm saying. Where do we begin to orientate the minds of Nigerians about principles and ideologies behind personalities that they like, that they love, that they follow? Do they really understand it? And do these persons exude the mannerism of the ideologies and principles that they claim they have?
That is what we are doing at Civic Space. We are engaging Nigerians. We are telling them in clear terms that this is what you need to know about the candidates that you have been, attached to, mentally attached to, that no matter what. And funny enough, the coalition, the ADC coalition, in their mind, they still believe that there's not sufficient people that are still very much in love with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Go to the street now, regardless of this suffering, where they suffer like this now, there are still people that will still say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu or nobody. It's shocking. And that is human psychology for you. That is why we don't even want to pay attention to. And the fact that AAC can even give their ticket to someone who does not have to know anybody, godfatherism, the party is so open to youths and organic, someone that wants to serve, someone that can actually have the mental, the capacity, the willingness to serve their people in the grassroots, organic support. And if people already have an idea of what these current politicians are doing to them, they would think differently. Who would not want free qualitative education? Who wouldn't want
we sure
free
bring back
qualitative?
subsidy?
Yes, of course. He has communicated that at every opportunity that is being given to.
How would he ensure that if the elites no longer continue to exploit it? Because that's what this government claims, that the elites were exploiting subsidy, and that's why they had to remove it.
Well, as the president, you have the policy lever to actually put in place policies that would put the hands of those elites out of the cookie jar of the people's resources. You have that power.
But you know how these guys behave. They will break your economy for you.
Nobody can
They'll
bully a
create
Showres.
scenarios.
We know that with Showres antecedents, nobody can bully him. And he would look straight into anybody's eyes and said, it's over. It is a different era. And it's time to let go of people's resources. And you even have to give account for stealing from the people. So this is the kind of presidency that Nigerians should be excited about. Not the ones that will tell you that, if my friends doesn't benefit from my government, who would not be? So we have a class issue here, all right? The ruling class and the oppressed class. So the oppressed, it is time for them to now come to make a retrospection and say, wow, we have been paying attention to the wrong people that have not been able to serve our interests because they have been putting the interest of their class and their friends at the front of the table. But we want to put someone that belongs to us, that can identify with our struggle, and that can actually put things in place that will serve our interests, that will provide services that would, serve us essentially. Because by and large, the Nigerian people have not been served. All right, it's only politicians that have been enriching themselves. All right, that is the reality of things. Also, in Nigeria, have a choice to make at this point in time. It's something that is very, very important, and Nigerians have to make a decision going forward that they have to just embrace these current criminals, or better choose somebody that can serve them and actually be accountable for all their resources.
Well, Mr. Tony Bata, we need to take phone calls, but there are talks that Fubara is to defect right now to the APC. A couple of persons will say they saw that coming. There are talks about a cold war between Wike and the president due to what happened with Officer Yerima, the recent outbursts, and a couple of generals were already beginning to make certain statements that Wike should stop crossing his boundary. There's also the land grabbing incident in Abuja as well, and a couple of things that were exposed by Sahara reporters about Wike's mansion and all of that, and the impunity of it, the lands that he appropriated to his sons, which he felt that his son is of tenable age to have some of those lands. There are talks that some of the lands that were demolished are given to his friends and cronies and all of that stuff, and it's brazenly done. And a couple of people think that it is going to mutilate the perception of the president's administration. Possibly he's using his relationship with the president to do and act as he likes. So in order to resuscitate that relationship, or sort of, he has made sure that every component in Rivers State has been delivered. So for 2027, everything that would ensure that Rivers is for APC has been done with. Will that actually make APC win Rivers with all that has taken place, with the work that Wike has done in regards to achieving that? Will that actually be tantamount to Rivers being delivered for the APC?
Esther, when Wike was a governor, they couldn't win. The APC couldn't win a presidential
when Wike was a governor, he was a PDP.
He was in PDP,
yeah.
But both APC and PDP, he was working for APC.
No, it was towards the
when he fall out with APC, when they refused to give him presidential vice with Atiku, he began to work for
sabotage
the party and also give Obi that olive branch, and this later on and did what he did. They couldn't win it. I have told you this. It's because we have institutions like INEC that is weak, wicked, and I don't know any other adjective to use. If you have a very strong institution where somebody like Professor Oti, the Vice Chancellor of
Professor Nanarity,
yes, should be at the helm of affairs, or some of these state electoral commissioners, you see that they can't win election. I have told you this. What APC is doing is to bring all these political juggernauts for them to be there, so that this kind of rigging, they can now say, after all, it's our governor. That's why they won that, they win the election. But let me tell you something. Wike, any rational human being will not like to work with Wike, because Wike is a betrayer. Wike can do anything in order to make sure that, is it money, is it power? Let me have it.
Some people will describe it as politicking.
No. Wike is a kind of person that, you see, you must respect. There are some people you respect. It's like when you call somebody like former governor of Ekiti State. Look at somebody will come up and start insulting somebody like Obasanjo and an open space. You are not talking. Yes, you are not talking about the age. You are not talking about the position. You say that he belongs to a zoo. No. So Wike can betray anybody. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu also knows who is Wike. Wike, when you are local government chairman, what did you do? Wike, when you are chief of staff of Amechi, what did you do to Amechi? What did you do to former President Goodluck Jonathan? And people are watching you. The little position they give you, you appropriated a land, which acre of land to your son. Is it that he's working, he has money more than every other person? Wike, who are you? So it's a time that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and people must have told him, and he himself knows, they use Wike. I have said the time that Wike will be used and dubbed.
Okay, Civic Space, do you think that the problem with the administration of the president are those who are supposedly meant to be displaying, all right, his principles and governance? Is there an issue with the persons in charge of these different parastatals and agencies, starting from his close cabinet members along with some nominees? Is it they are the ones being ineffective, and they're ineffectively portraying the policies of the president, which he considers to be quite reforming and transformational if it is duly impacted, carried out by the right persons? Could it be these persons, could be the nominations of the wrong persons who are not projecting the true intention of the president's policies? That is the issue with a couple of Nigerians in their contrast to understanding what his government is all about.
Well, there would, if you call them right now and ask them a few questions on what they have been doing, they would have something to say. They would tell you what they have been doing. They will even give you, some paperwork to show, blueprints. They would speak all of the grammar in this world to defend themselves that they have indeed been working. But we know that on the street, that is not reflecting. And that highlights a very important theme that we have always been talking about, that this is a struggle between the ruling class and the oppressed people of Nigeria. It's a case of class consciousness, and we believe that they will always. And if you observe very well, the politicians are doing well. All of the politicians, all of the people in charge of one part of the government or the other, even if you are a relative or you are a distant friend of any of these people that you have just mentioned, you'll be doing well. So it seems as though they are serving their own interest rather than serving the interest of the people. So it's not a matter of whether or not they are competent. They are essentially doing what they should be doing. Serving the interest of their class. So now the people now go come, that it is us that will decide and said, well, enough is enough. Okay. That is why Shure has always talked about the coalition of the oppressed. We have to come, whether now or later. Now the thing where people go still do with that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take your calls. And please, I want to do this as an open invitation. If you know that you can really speak for your principle, what I mean, speak for your principle, any of the political persons that are quite, well, not famous, but if you know any person who is running for 2027 and you possibly understand the ideology, you trust whatever it is they're up to, you kind of believe in the personality that they're portraying, that they're going to do the right thing in governance, I'd like to possibly, you can send a message on WhatsApp. We could screen you and invite you to the studio. Let's have healthy conversations, whether you're APC, PDP, Labour Party, AAC, ADC. Let's engage, all right? Let's understand why you prefer these candidates. Let's know how well you know these candidates and what they represent, how you can puncture the vulnerabilities and policies of this administration, or even if they have airtight policies in terms of execution, how well have they been doing that? How would your proposed principle do better? What do you think can be introduced to supposedly make the system work? I would love that, to be honest with you. Healthy, intellectual, logical, orientating, mind-blowing, expository conversations. I would love to have that here. So please, I would love you to send a message on WhatsApp so I can screen and invite you on any of the days right here in the studio so we can have conversations. The number to call is 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. The WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. 0817-1756-338. That's a WhatsApp number. The number to call is 080-3692-9933. And the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. All right, let's take your calls. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Of your radio.
Okay, I'll do it now, please.
Turn the volume of your radio, please, completely. Hello.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay. You're still close to your radio.
No, it's off. My radio is off.
All right. What's your name, please?
My name is King. I'm calling from Ago.
All right, King, please go ahead.
Yes. So many times I've tried to reach you, but I couldn't. So today I count myself very lucky.
Is this your first time?
My first time, yes.
Oh my God, let me ring bell for you. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. So what I want to contribute, I've been listening to your programs about political concerning election in Nigeria and so on, both the aspirants and so on, Atiku ADC, P2B, and the APC, the present government. So what I want to say is this, all of them, ADC, Labour, APC, their leaders, they are all matured people and they know what is good for them and what is good for Nigeria. And I'm going to speak about P2B, especially P2B. I've listened to Barrister Darlington Agumbo several times how he talks about P2B is not encouraging, but one thing I want to add is that P2B have been with Atiku in the last election, and I believe that he knows Atiku more than more than Barrister Darlington, because that is just like marriage, a husband and wife, they know themselves. If people be saying that they don't want to be vice to Atiku, meaning that he has seen something that is making him not to be his vice any longer. And the Atiku has run for the president of this nation about, he has contested to be the president of this.
Where are you driving at, please, so I can take more calls?
Yes, where I'm driving at is that P2B knows better than Barrister Darlington, that Barrister Darlington should stop demarcating P2B because he refuses to be Atiku's vice.
All right, thank you very much. 08036929933 08036929933. The WhatsApp number is 0817175638. Please, when you call, go straight to the point so we can accommodate other calls as well, okay? And I have messages to read. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
How about you?
Bodito Campe inside jacket. How you doing?
I hear your voice today, live and direct.
You didn't hear my voice before.
I can hear that, but now you talk one on one. I'm so happy.
Welcome. What's be your name?
God bless you. My name is Anywale Kunde.
All right.
About any information.
Okay, go ahead, please.
So my own contribution is entirely quite different. Yeah, I'm not going to about the election or do all the thing. My own is pertaining to this security aspect in our Kwara State.
Okay.
So I don't know how our president can help us about the issue, because governor of Kwara State didn't do anything. The governor says they should call the security aspect. All this along there, they call the local government chairman. The local government said they should come to the own area as other local government. They went there. They called the man, they said around what time they should come. The man said they can come anytime. And they went there. At the end of the day, they called the man more than 40 times. The man did not pick the call. That's my own key point pertaining to the Kwara State. What is the way out about our security? We are not saying Kwara State at all. So that's my key point. At all, we don't have rest of mind day and night.
Okay. All right.
And secondly, I'm calling pertaining to all our Kwara people. We should just stand up, all of us. We need to stand up about our governor, local government state, governor state. Because the lorry and the governor, we are not the same. We need to demonstrate. The governor should stand on our own, likewise the lorry should be on their own. Okay. Let me give you an instance or an example. The lorry is just like an VI. Likewise, the governor is just like an Oshodiye. Can you compare Oshodiye and the VI? The answer is capital no. So that is where I'm going. God bless you, my sister. And my regard to my Barrister Darlington.
Okay, but he's not here today. We have civics.
I know.
Thank you very much. Do you have anything to say to what he said? Do you hear him?
Yeah, I heard him loud and clear.
Okay.
Would
you advocate for what he's suggesting?
Well, I think at some point in time, the people, self-defense, it's something that is well entrenched in our laws, but there are caveats to it.
Okay.
At some point, even the government, disarmed the Kwara people from having, Dane guns that they literally use for hunting, essentially. But the thing is that if you are disarming people, are you going to provide them with the security to allow them not to be able to defend themselves? You are leaving them vulnerable, and yet you are not providing security for them. It's the height of cruelty. You don't do that. So the government must step up or step down. That has always been our rhetoric. That is why we have always said revolution now. That is, the people have to begin to look towards, because when you have already complained about something over and over again, you are even not allowed to even protest about your grievance. Then what is the next thing to do? You don't have anything to lose than to just go all out and say enough is enough.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Mr. How are you?
Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Where are you? You're close to your radio. Please turn off your radio. Okay? Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name, please?
This is Tinubu.
Alright, please go ahead.
Gentlemen in the studio, I greet you all.
Thank you.
Sir, we asked one funny question that why is it that countries where military take over, why do the people populate? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I asked the question.
Because the people are jubilating because we are getting out of, we are removing them from suffering and hunger. That's what is happening in Nigeria, my sister. How much is a bag of rice from when these people take over? Everybody is crying, everybody is shouting, insecurity, hunger. So I think this US president will not rise up to the occasion. This country will see where they are. People will be killed, Christians will be killed, people chased out of their central home, and the fatality will come to their studio and shout and shout and shout, and nothing is being done. So this thing is getting out of hand. So Nigeria should go and rescue another country that military take over and leave their own. This tells you that this our government that benefiting from this thing, and government and the stability have been shouting on all these things. Nobody is paying attention. I wonder what is happening to you Nigerians. If we should still continue with this APC government, I'm sorry, we are going nowhere. If Nigerians is typically sorry to use that way, and vote these people in.
Alright, thank you very much. Hello? Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, how are you? What's your name?
This is Williams from First Town.
Williams from First Tag. How is First Tag this evening, Williams?
Very well.
Is this your first time calling?
No, this is not my first time.
Alright, go ahead, Williams.
I will speak to you right now as an able man. I'm from a town called Umgeri, in the local government of Imo State. Atiku is not the problem of Igbos. Ms. Ambata is telling Atiku to step down for B. To me, it's not possible. Atiku should continue. I could not this people being
your network is not good though. Hello?
Atiku conductor ADC and P2B is sitting in his house, then this one will now hand over the party to him. All this north and south, is he on the political party? ADC is not EDP, neither ADC is APC. So when they talk north and south, this thing, Atiku is from northeast. Has anybody from northeast, rule Nigeria? The same rule is southeast.
Okay. Oh, that guy's call went off. Alright, 08036929933. Hello, please call back. Hello? Turn down the volume of your radio, please.
My name is Joshua Pockets. I live down at you don't know. HAKP, former citizen of Nigeria, now retired.
Wow, welcome.
Yeah. See, I'm glad you are back. I've been following up with your news these days, and in fact, I'm angry.
Eh?
Now, see, it's not that Nigerians are confused. It's not that they don't know what to do. It's just that they don't want to do what they are supposed to do. And anybody going up against the government in form of protest should not go empty-handed though, because we know that the Nigerian government are violent people. And it is only the violent that take it by force. Now, look at the response to Benin. You see how swift they are, and they tell me they cannot find bandits. I will not joke out to this country. I would also subscribe to Sowore being a vice president, not the president, as a matter of fact.
Really?
So, yes, I will, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Obi has a track record. Anybody can go and find out. We know Obi. And I understand that Sowore also is outspoken, with disrespect to him. But the issue is this: that coalition that we have there, Obi should just remove himself from that equation, because as you speak, Atiku owns that party, have funded that party, and there's no way Obi can fit in that section. So, my take on this. And now, going forward, as for me, as a Nigerian, a former Nigerian, yes, I will not subscribe to the fact that we will sit down and expect an electoral system that they don't want to change to work. We must walk the talk now.
Okay.
We must walk the talk. If we don't do anything and stand up, these wicked people will be rejected. Good night and have a wonderful day. And I need a phone so that I can see you, or a laptop so I can see you, MC Chief and Dr. Walking and Barrister Darlington.
Is that a Christmas wish? Is that a Christmas request?
That's my Christmas wish for the love of Jesus Christ. I'm not expecting.
All right. Okay. No problem. Don't worry. Just be positive. Okay. All right. 08036929933. 08036929933. Hello. Good evening.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
How you doing?
Yeah, that young man that called before this person say he speak like an Igbo man.
Yes.
But I'm speaking like an Biafran now. Now, let me ask something. If Atiku, if they do electoral reform, Atiku stay on his own, Obi stay on his own, and Tinubu stay on his own, do you think that Atiku will win? But that's by the way. I'm not supporting whether Atiku should come out or not to come out. Obi should not go to Atiku as a running mate. If what's come to what, let Obi leave Tinubu and Atiku, let the two of them, let the two lions fight it out, or two elephants, let them fight it out. Must give me advice. Now, if they can do that election, I mean, that their primary in that APC, free and fair, not the dollar delegate, not the dollar bribe, everything. They don't do it free and fair primary. Before Obi, if they can do it like that, they should allow us to do it. Obi will come out to ADC if they want it, if they want it a normal free and fair. Not that the one they will say free and fair. They are from back, they are giving $10,000, $20,000, and they are telling us that Atiku build the ADC. Let him be the ATC and go and stay there now. Why is it that everybody Obi will not go to Atiku as a running mate? If he wants to come to us, let leave the and Atiku and Tinubu. Lastly, what I want to say, I beg, sometimes I know you are being very influencing with people. Maybe sometimes you will not pick call again. Let's have to write and wrap up. Because your time sometimes now it becomes short. Your station is not the one that they use, and they come, they use and they tire all the time. Enjoy your evening, yeah?
Wahala for una people. Una. Hey, 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello. Okay. Hello, good evening. What is going on? You guys are not connecting. 08036929933. That's the number. And the WhatsApp number is 0817175638. Please pardon my voice, so I beg. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. How are you?
Let's apply for how you doing?
I do. Welcome.
Yeah,
You're very close to your radio. Either you turn it off or stay away from your radio. There's a feedback.
How you doing?
I do, Campi. How you do?
I do. I'm speaking with Ibrahim from Mirakari.
Ibrahim, I miss you. You don't miss me.
Yeah, how you doing now?
Alright, Ibrahim, go ahead.
Yeah, so those guys where they are speaking with anger is not by anger. If all of them they can work for people, it's okay. They can give them the presidency now. But this one they just for people, just for giving it's not like that. When you ask the sick person to be you may even give you a sign that you order whether they can get together with Obi. So it never happens so. president from the southeast and the vice president from the southwest. Everything is northern now. So if you know that you want to win a presidency, so you need to capture the north. So if you don't capture them, they are not going to anywhere. We have the northeast, north central, and northwest. And all those ones, if you can, the 5 states, 6 states, and 60 states, and the 5 states. When you look at the zone, the very bigger zone.
Ibrahim, you sit there close to your radio.
But I listen to you.
I can hear you now. Go ahead.
So Esther, I said that. Yeah, I'm hearing you very well now, Esther. What happened? You don't go just me. There's code there.
Yes, code. No, now on Sunday I go church. I go do Thanksgiving. Now there I sing, I shout. Now in the voice chop.
Okay, you need lots of chicken and data people. So you are going to go clear.
Yeah, thank you.
So what I'm trying to say that this anybody who will do one consumer, the consumer, people who consumer of this, just give their idea and need to go together. You want to build a party. One person cannot do a party now. And 80 they are there. People that do that, Ashwaji that. If Ashwaji not win 2027, there's no more election. So that is going to do that the president now. Maybe by Thursday, maybe this one going on. So we have population day. First go for day. I will pray a northerner. I mean northerner get the number of the votes.
Okay.
So please everybody calm down. Be giving them cold water,
Okay. Thank you, Ibrahim. Do you understand where he's coming from, right? Very good. All right, 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you? Welcome.
The issue on ground is very, very clear.
Okay.
And we need the commission will do us good. Can you remember the late president, how many times he contested? It shows really the last one. So commission is like coming together to red man together and to vote these people out. So it is very, very clear. So I wish that people can just accept that. It's just a matter of time. When the time for him to be the number one, it's just quite sure. So I wish that Nigerians will understand it and we will just do it as well because the way things are going, oh my God, these people they are just playing, they don't care, they don't understand the plight of the masses. It is very, very clear that they don't even get out of the mind. They will tell you things are working out, but the reality of that is the other way around. I think I'm very happy to come from this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, thank you for calling, okay? 08036929933. That's the number. And the number to send your WhatsApp messages to is 0817-1756-338. Okay, hello, good evening, how are you?
Hello, Esther. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How buddy?
This is John Legend calling from Moshi.
John Legend, what's happening?
Esther, what I am trying to say is this. For me, I believe that if these people did not give ETOB tickets, let him stop this election and stay on his own. It's not by force he run. Likewise what the other man just said now. Because it shouldn't be, Obi shouldn't be vice for anybody, deputize anybody. Let him come out. If they want to do it, dollarize a primary election, let him leave this election, let him stay on his own and wait for his own turn to come. So that Atiku and Tinubu, let both of them do this fight. Anyone that won, then let him take. When it's time for him when it's time for Obi to rule, let him come out and stand for himself. As simple as that. If this one will not work for him, let him just stay and wait for another turn. Because the way I'm seeing it, this will be a money bag election. This even 2023 election will be better than what we are going to see. Is it not this one they are killing Nigerians? They are using Nigerian bloods now for whether election or what, I don't know what to talk about it. So let GTOB leave most of these bloodsuckers and stay on his own. When the time comes, he will rule Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay. Me, I'm campaigning. And I don't need you to tell me what political party I should be with or who I should deputize. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, welcome. What's your name, sir? Welcome.
Lagos. How are you doing?
I did. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Alright,
thank you. What I wanted to say is concerning Tinubu. Okay. I'm an Igbo man. Huh?
Alright.
Let me tell you the truth. Let them know use an Igbo this time around. Escaping good. Where they are doing PDP they are doing north and south. This is APC. They are doing the same north and south. Let them know go use Tinubu to cause problem here in the south for us. If they don't want to, if the northerners don't want to resume this presidency in any party back to south against Aswaju, let Aswaju continue and finish his 8 years. Then the power will not go back to north. Wow. Let them not put confusion to us here in the south. We begin to fight each other, destroying our property here in Lagos. I get my point. We are eating their money in the politics, doing whatever they are doing. We are here doing business. They use politics to scatter whatever we are doing. So we don't want that rubbish again. So let them face what they are doing. Let Obi go in his house and less. They cannot die for Nigeria. If they don't want the good things, if Nigeria is thinking, all of us will sink. If Nigeria is doing well, all of us will do well. So let Obi not kill himself because of Nigerians. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening. Welcome. How are you? I can hear you. Go ahead, please. Your name.
I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you very well. Please, your name and where you're calling
thank
from.
you so much. I'm so happy to be on the show.
Thank you.
It's nice to talk to you, Esther, my beautiful sister. My name is Adewale. Big shout out to the civic space. Thank you for bringing him into the studio.
You're a civic space person. All of you have the same voice.
Sorry, did you have a question for me?
No, I mean I'm complimenting your voice texture. Please continue. Go ahead.
So I just wanted to contribute to the conversation.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate you, by the way. I followed you on Twitter.
Okay.
Esther.
Yes.
I think you do a great job in presenting yourself, speaking articulately, and you're just a wonderful person. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
So, with that being said,
yes.
For the 2027 general elections, I want people to realize that it's going to be rigged again. That's the truth. The absolute truth about the 2027 elections is it's going to be rigged again. However, if the people can rally behind a man like Omoyele Sowore, it's going to make a difference. Because Sowore is not going to stand by and allow him to be rigged, right?
Yeah.
He's going to implement some sort of a protest. He's going to motivate the victims of Nigeria to stand up for their rights, to make sure that they get what they voted for. And there is no other candidate that can make that happen. And most importantly, Sowore is the only candidate in Nigeria that the current establishment looks in the eyes and they are afraid of. He is the only one that they respect because they know that he genuinely wants a better country and they fear him. There is no other individual in Nigeria that presents that same package to the establishment. And when I say establishment, I believe we understand what we are explaining. The establishment are the people that make up the political parties.
Sure.
The people that have been in power since the Fourth Republic. They've been exchanging power amongst themselves, and in that process, they've all become billionaires, and now we are the poverty capital of the world. Now we are the country with the lowest life expectancy in the world. And now we are the country with the lowest standard of living in the world. All thanks to these politicians. And that's why it's very, very critical at this point that we change. We stop making the same changes that we've been making. We stop making the same decisions that we've been making all this while. And we select a noble candidate like Sowore. Even if Sowore is rigged out, best believe there's going to be a reaction. But if any one of your establishment candidates are elected and they are rigged out, there is not going to be any repercussion. So Nigerians, it's time for you to make your wise decision. Whether you're going to be rigged out or not, go for Showore, because there is going to be repercussions if you're rigged out. Thank you so much, my beautiful Queen Esther. I appreciate you. Keep shining. Thank you for bringing Civic Space. Salute to you, Civic Space Liberation Chat. Peace.
All right. Thank you. Good evening. Hello. Good evening. How are you? Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Yes. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine.
Wow. Where's my bell? Oh yeah. Welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your name?
My name is Celestina from Ikotu.
Celestina from Ikotu. Celestina, how are you?
I'm fine, ma'am.
All right, please go ahead.
Ma, I want to ask.
Celestina, can you turn down the volume of your radio?
I said 2027 election they are talking of now. Are you hearing me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
No. Okay, ma'am. Then they are talking of 2027 election, but they are talking of insecurity. Is it the people that they have failed, they are going to lose? We are dying for hungry. If you go to the street, many people have been in fact, everywhere is standard. Those food, nothing. They are talking of this thing, 2027 election. The people are dying. If you see these are many things, in fact, they are not supposed to talk of this 2027 election until they settle all this insecurity. Every time they release their card, every time, even though the Anambra State, even though the Fubara, so they're willing to talk how they get them, how we understand. So I don't know. Let them suspend this 2027 election.
Wow.
Let them suspend it to fight insecurity and food.
Okay. All right. Well, the president has affirmed that they're working on that already with collaboration with U.S. intelligence, I think. And the recent visit of Riley Moore to Nigeria with the National Security Advisor, I think that reconnaissance, intelligence gathering, and sharing of whatever digital equipment they're going to have to rout out Boko Haram and ISWAP is already on the way. They're already working on that. They're still surveilling. So let's be positive that before then, all of this will be a thing of the past and that good governance will basically hold sway. I'll take some messages now. This person says, America should share intelligence with Nigerian army. I'm very sure the intelligence will leak into the terrorist camp and America would get angry and go guns a blazing. You're not a patriot. Why? Look at what is in your mind. And you didn't put your name there. Good evening, Esther. I think a right-thinking Nigerian shouldn't be surprised about the regular call on the Nigerian government by Sheikh Gumi to negotiate with the terrorists to allow peace to reign. I do suspect that there must have been certain agreements that the federal government is yet to fulfill. That is why Gumi remains untouchable. Engineer Salau from Governor Road, Ikotu. Good evening, VOP. Lakon from Lagos. In the same country, the president, ministers, senators, governors are your servants, not tax masters, but it's because they rig themselves into power using vote buying, Agbero intimidation, cash and carry, INEC, and judiciary. All right, this message is from Dai from Fubara. Truly, there was a country. Dai, good evening. Thank you for sending your messages. Esther and the guests in the house, good evening all. My name is Ichie White from Sangota, Ogun State. Please, I have a question to ask Mr. Tony Bata. Please, sir, does it mean that Sheikh Gumi is so big or above the law that the so-called Nigerian government cannot arrest him for his utterances that he does make? It is bordering. His words is questionable.
That question is what we're supposed to ask the present government. Yes, it's not me because I'm not the commander-in-chief. Because what he's saying, any rational human being will know that Sheikh Gumi is supposed to be questioned and locked up. Yes, most of his utterances. How can a human being say it's better you kidnap children? Life as if
says a lesser evil.
A lesser evil. As if there's a life is there's some life that are more important than others. Like I was saying, do you know the trauma that the parents of those children will go? And a lot of things he has said it. Nobody has questioned him.
All right. Good evening, Esther, and your guest in the studio. Esther, is Sheikh Gumi the commander-in-chief of the armed forces? If not, why is Tinubu not saying anything concerning all he has been saying? Someone has been sentenced to life for mere talk, but someone is working freely, parading himself as a terrorist spokesperson. I'm waiting for Tinubu to send our fighter jets to the terrorist den and their sponsors. KC from Ijesha. What Nigerian government is currently doing in Benin Republic is really telling the Nigerian people and the whole world they know what is happening in Nigeria. Tinubu has spent more than 2 years watching Nigerians suffer with epileptic power supply, but the same Nigerian power supply to neighboring countries and it's stable. Is Nigerian president happy that Nigerians are dying in the hands of terrorists and kidnappers? Chamere from Agbara. Good evening, Esther, Tony Bata, and the AAC guest Civic Space. This is Fidelis from Okota. Please, Esther, my understanding is that Mr. President has never asked the military to fight and clear the terrorists. I believe that if he gives that order to the military by now, terrorism would have been a thing of the past. And I'm sure for what I'm saying, which I know, that many Nigerians will bear me witness. Thanks. Well, after the situation, when he met with the security chiefs very recently, he told them to do what is needed in ensuring that we no longer continue to hear about this. So I think that's a direct order, right? Good evening, Esther. Oh, I'm sorry what happened to your voice. Thank you. You're healed in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Have a wonderful, nice sleep. Thank you so much. I've been taking honey and lemon since yesterday. Esther, good evening. Intelligence has nothing to do with age. You look at how young that young man's analysis, his issues and expressions are so eloquent and intelligent. Esther, Army has debunked this false claim. About what? What false claim are you referring to, please? Kindly buttress or you clarify. I don't understand. And thank you for complimenting Civic Space. Yes, he's young, intelligent, and eloquent. Good evening, Esther. My name is Don Richard Okonkwo. I wonder why no one talks about Obi and Shure coming together under one party. Can you ask those your guest about it? It makes sense to me. Also, I don't hear anyone telling Atiku that it's southern part of Nigeria's turn to be president now, or is it not so? So why is he contesting? I hope no one tells the South not to contest after Tinubu's tenure. Like, do you get?
Yeah, I do.
Not after Tinubu's tenure. You now say it's time of the North, so nobody from the South should contest. Okay. Good evening, Esther. Your 2023 election is going to be different from 2027 elections. If Obi can't work with Atiku, it shows that Obi is completely making way for Tinubu. You people that will write this kind of messages will not write your name. You will not write your name, Abby. Good evening to you, Esther. Greetings to your guest. My heart bleeds for Nigerians because this government has failed woefully. Imagine military open fire against armless women and government remains mute. Where do we run to now that there is no protection again from the government that swears to protect lives and properties of the people that govern? We're completely vulnerable. APC has failed and nothing to offer. Rather, it's propaganda. It's a pity. Daniel from Agege. Okay, this is quite lengthy. I'll just take it very brief. Good evening, Esther. I greet Mr. Tony Bata and the Civic Space guest. My name is Gabriel from Ikorodu. Esther, when APC coalesced with other political parties prior to 2015 general election, they did not give anyone ultimatum to join them because their goal was clear, to change the ruling party. The ultimatum APC is given to His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi clearly signifies there is ulterior motive attached to it. It seems they had seen Peter Obi as an obstacle to the presidential ambition of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, so they want to bring Obi in, cage him, and deliver the ticket to Atiku after nearly 6 attempts at presidency without success. But His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi is smarter. This is the reason he's taking his time till the hidden plans of this coalition comes to light. Somebody said yesterday that even if Obi contests 7 times and win, they won't give him the mandate. That is a slavery mentality. This is what all of us should rise up to stop, because if they do it to Obi, they can do it to Atiku, and there is nothing he can do. No one can fight a man with guns and bare hands. Obi is the one majority is with. Alright, if Mr. Peter Obi announces his affiliation with any political party, the APC and the current government will likely destabilize that party. Emma from Lagos. Philip Ego says, Showere all the way. I believe he can do the needful. He's brazen, he's bold, he's vibrant. We need such in our polity. All right, well done. Showere and Peter Obi laugh out loud. Showere despises Obi. It's a bad match. Is that true? Does he despise?
No. It's a political disagreement.
Exactly.
Not
despise is too personal.
Yeah.
I believe Showere is now the right time for him to get into it. Being a presidential candidate, he's been the one that has called this government without fear. He has never minced his words compared to others. Showere, I think this is the right time for you to throw your mantle in the race. As strong as possible, I think you have a very good chance. I will go for Showere. The coalition does not seem serious. All right. Okay. Esther, good evening. VOP International, good evening. I'm so happy to listen to your program all the time. Esther, I'm really happy because Voice of the People is like a network. If I'm going everywhere in Ushodi now, Voice of People, I commend you guys. Voice of People radio station is the best station of the year.
Wow.
I know Ali Kainde Hussein Baba Bejini from Ushodi. Thank you. Okay. This is, whoa, this is lengthy. Esther, good evening. Please, Peter Obi and Shura should work together. This will be a bomber, a big bomber for this government. Okay. All right. Good evening, Esther and honorable crew member. What do you expect from a man that constantly consumes 40 years plus alcohol? Wow. Of course, it's from Surrey because where is your evidence? Be putting allegedly. Esther, good evening, others in the studios. Mr. Fred from Lagos. By 2027 election, APC that we know cannot win the Nigerian presidency, no matter the amount of ujuru that they will do. The Chicago certificate scandal, the bad selection of the cabinet, the selected fake governors. Esther, the citizens are more populated than these APC candidates. As for Wike, he's a destroyer. Thanks and God help. Good evening. I want to talk about the dancing governor. I think people should elect a serious-minded person, not a singer and dancer. I wonder how he and Adeleke became the governor of Osun State. Lastly, our president sent Nigeria's military to Guinea to intervene. No, it's Benin Republic, not Guinea. To intervene in the military's mutiny over their democratic dispensation while Nigeria is facing a serious security challenge. This administration is worse than Nebuchadnezzar in the Bible. Mr. Oshibajo Kamreji from Lagos. Were you alive? About during Nebuchadnezzar's time. All right. Good evening, Esther and the guests in the studio. All I have to say this evening is about our future president, which is Mr. Peter Obi. My vote and that of my entire family belongs to him. This is Mayor from Ikotegbe. Good evening, Madam Esther. Nigeria at the moment lacks sincere and honest oppositions and even political writers. Why can't Mr. Showore, Peter Obi, Babatiko and others join their hands together to give the present government a good fight? Noah from Igondo. Hey Esther, this is Aya from Warsaw, Poland. With the monetization of Nigerian politics, how do they expect Peter Obi to emerge in ADC, knowing the might of Atiku in the political space? People should stop being blindly irreasonable. A coalition between Obi and Shura sure sounds good. God bless Nigeria. Okay. Hi, guests and Esther. On electoral reforms, unless a larger will begin to vote in our rooms with a phone, Nigerian elections will remain the same rigmarole. 2, I think 75% deployment of technology will save our elections credibility. Atiku will never hand over to Peter Obi. If going by some tips for Atiku's and Obi's tickets, Obi should remain his own force and align with some others. Showore is fine. Regionalism is the best for us, e.g. UAE. Winga Ola from Fade. Good evening, Esther and the analyst over there. Welcome back from a few weeks leave. Thank you. Your voice is somehow, yes. Hope you're alright. Please take good care of yourself. Actually, the way Barrister Darlington takes this Peter Obi matter, he should take it easy. My prayer is that let military take... Oh, I will not follow you and read this message. All right, this person says, good evening, Esther and your guys. The government of Nigeria is not serious with the fight against terrorism. If not, the way the military fought the coup plotters in Benin Republic, by now, the insecurity could have been a thing of the past. On Fubara, I speculated that Nigeria is descending to a one-party system. Okay, Nigeria need a bold and courageous leader. I love Peter Obi, but he seems he's too gentle for this game. If he's not going to run for this coming 2027 election, I'll go for sure because of his bold and courageous personality. Philip from Ota, Ogun State. All right, Philip, well done. Let me take 2 more calls and we'll wrap up. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello? Hello.
How are we, ma?
Good evening, sir. Welcome. How are you?
Fine. No, I've been an added. I did listen to your program.
Thank you so much. Is this your first time?
This is my first time. I'm Friday, one by from Kirikiri here.
Welcome. Please go ahead.
So, the subject matter about Obi and Atiku with Showure. I am a Labour Party president and added obedient and a world chairman for that matter.
Wow.
Nice. If Obi should deputize for Atiku, then the rubbish his image. And the rubbish his image because the politician will hijack and rubbish his image. I'm of the opinion that Obi should play that role Tinubu play to Baba late former president
Muhammad Buhari.
Muhammadu Buhari, so that we form alliance together and make sure that this government leaves. Then later it will not be his turn. Because where we are now, the Northerners are not happy with the present government. If you even listen very well today, the governor of Rivers State has become to APC.
Mm-hmm.
So more or less, Nigeria is one party system. So we need strong hand to pull these people out of the power. If the two of them contest separately, they may not succeed. So that is my submission, man. I am of the opinion that we should behave as the party leader and work for Atiku, come and campaign for Atiku so that Atiku will win. Because if obedient, with the obedient, if we move a mass with the Atiku's cover, they will be able to retrieve the power from these people. Without that, I may not see anything because they have already reached the election. The criminals are there. They are there. They have their president is on ground. We know their president. So that is something. I'm grateful. God bless you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for calling. Good night. I will take one more call so we can wrap up this evening. 080-3692-9933. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Esther.
Hi, good evening. Welcome. How are you?
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening. What's your name?
And good evening to all of you in the studio.
Good evening. How are you?
Esther, you missed my voice now. Boy, from media.
Oh, listen, I know. Sorry, my voice is not too good as well, boy.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Now, I don't know if Mr. Shaw was still in the studio.
Yes, Civic Space is here, yes.
Okay, if he's still in the studio, let me ask him a question.
Can you do that?
Hello, Mr. Shaw.
Go ahead. He's representing you. Go ahead.
Okay, that's all right. Please, how about, let me just ask you, what if we are asked to do
Hello? Wow, he's gone off. Can Obi Elshore and Obi deputize each other? They're both south.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, judging from that alone and the sentiment of our people, with the tribal sentiment is still something that we frown out, but it's a reality that we cannot run away from. So that alone, it's also
it's no go area.
Yeah, it's a challenge. But the thing is that even technically, these guys have different ideologies. Right, Mr. Peter Obi is a capitalist and is obviously very much attached to his senior colleagues and leaders. The ruling class is still very much, something that Mr. Peter Obi will always drift into every single time. And Showore, on the other hand, always drift to the people, the organic people. All right, so these are two different people. So we cannot force that marriage. Just as we cannot force the marriage of those that are saying that they no longer want to become Nigeria. They don't want to have any alliance with Nigeria any longer. So you can't force them. So that is just.
All right, Stanley from Okota says, Esther, hey, with this voice, is this voice sexy in any way? It doesn't sound sexy at all. And it's so irritated hearing people saying Obi should deputize Atiku Haba. Kinode, Ogini, Obi has run with Atiku before as vice and he knows what he saw. Only him knows why he doesn't want to run with Atiku. Please, Obi, if you can hear me, never run with Atiku. Delete all the people advising you to run with Atiku out of your phone if you have their contacts. Good evening, Stanley from Okota. All right, Civic Space, very briefly, what's your takeout this evening?
Well, my takeout is that Nigerians should make a decision, and that decision has to be from the standpoint of pragmatism, from the standpoint of reality.
Okay.
I see this rhetoric of the lesser evil rhetoric of Gumi, and we frowned at it. But when it comes to Mr. Peter Obi, we would want to shift the goalpost. Okay. I'm like, Obi is a lesser evil. We know that he belongs to the ruling class. We know he's associating with them, but at least he's still on the lesser evil side of things. Well, in actual fact, evil is evil. If you can condemn Gumi, why do we always stay reluctant to actually say it the way it is with respect to Mr. Peter Obi's association with the so-called bad guys in quote? So we have to make a decision to actually choose whether or not we want something radical, something decisive, something revolutionary at this point in time, and of course African Action Congress, under which Mr. Showra is aspiring, is a revolutionary party, and of course a digital party, a youth-oriented political party that wants to do something quite different, and wants to use the energy and the organization of the Nigerian people to actually bring about good governance. And I believe the Nigerian people will make a good decision this time around. So I believe the power should belong to the people this time around, not the politicians.
All right, Koboko Man says it is the policies of the president that he instigated and implemented. As I saw Nigerians in Ota picking nylon this morning. Koboko Man, picking what kind of nylon, please? These are text messages. Esther, you are welcome back, and my regards to your guests. Chuku Okike Abiama will continue to protect both of you in Jesus' name. If Tinubu calls out those 400 names sponsoring Boko Haram and bandits in Nigeria, it will be attributed that he's losing for election or something. Okay, Esther, good evening, and my regards to your guests. Igbo businessmen in Lagos are afraid to lose their properties and investment all over Nigeria because of their selfish interest. Obi will not stop, neither goes his home to rest. God will use him to save Nigeria. If anyone is afraid to lose his or her properties, that person must surely lose them all. God will use Peter Obi to save Nigeria. Anya Kelvin, Prior Estate. Mr. Tony Bata, final take.
My final take is that the only protest Nigeria need to do is to change INEC to make sure that our vote count. Right. That INEC should do the right thing. And secondly, nobody, no institution, both EFCC, ICPC have ever associated Obi with any bad thing. The records are there. Even them not an obedient. Anybody cannot tell you that Obi is this. Obi has been an Iroko of Nigerian politics and will continue to be. We know that Nigerians should choose the right person. But INEC, if we don't change INEC, this election is Sarah for APC.
All right, this person says, Esther, you need kiss smoking tablets. Which one is that? To help your voice clean very well. Sure, should start from local government chairmanship. Wow. This person says, tell Esther to chew raw okra first in the morning for 3 days. Really? Okay. I will try that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 9:24. We've actually exhausted our time. My name is Esther Wachiku, Civic Space. Thank you so much for coming in today. Mr. Tony Mbata, thank you so much. We'll take to have more of this conversation. It's not just going to be a one-time thing. We need to continue to educate ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, see you tomorrow. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Bye for now.